very good evening, viewer. You're most welcome to the Nilecast, only on West Nile Television, where we give you the daily news bulletins of the day, every day from 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. My name's Okumaringa Christine. Before we dive into any of the stories, let's first have a look at the news making headlines today. In the headlines tonight, NRM supporters urged to embrace registration and update exercise. Greater Nebi Muslims advised to reflect on their faith during the Ramadan period. And multi-million Valley Dam commissioned in Arua district. This and more in the Nilecast News Bulletin. It's 11th of March 2024. You're most welcome to the Nilecast, only on West Nile Television. Now let us dive into some of the stories of the evening. During the National Resistance Movement Party's voters registration and update exercise, the party supporters have been called upon to participate in the exercise so as to be recognized as eligible party members. The voter registration and update exercise will run for 5 days, starting from the 13th to the 17th of March across all villages within the country. Farish Majid reports.
National Resistance Movement Party supporters across the country have been called upon to participate in the voter registration and update exercise so as to be recognized as eligible party members. The exercise seeks to update the information about the supporters of the party, as well as also to identify the new members. During the exercise, the party supporters will be required to have their identity cards presented to party registrar at the village level. In Arua district, Engineer Gabriel Ajeda Aredo, who is the party chairperson of the district, calls upon all the supporters of the party to impress the exercise.
And once the exercise has been completed, these registers will then be taken back to Secretariat, and then the register will be updated. And once it has been updated, then it will be sent back to the village for verification, and then thereafter we will then be able to plan for the party elections, and that is election of the party structure.
Alioni Boniface, the Arua District NRM Vice Chairperson, is optimistic of an increase in the number of people subscribing to the party's ideology from that district.
With the population growth, the current population growth of Arua, if good mobilization is done for people to register, we honestly expect the NRM voters membership, NRM membership in Arua district to grow over 100,000. And I want to assure you, some of us are going to do our best to see that actual people register.
Jawok Dennis, the Deputy Resident District Commissioner, assures of maximum security in ensuring the success of the exercise.
We recognize that there are wrong elements who will want to take advantage of that. That one, like I told you, we have well laid down strategies to sieve them and make sure they do not register. I've already told you we've had very fruitful discussion with the authorities in Congo, because we cannot achieve this alone.
Amaku Emmanuel, the district internal security officer, says for one to be registered as a party member, he or she will be required to present their national identity cards.
We are not going to register. During this registration, for you to be registered, one, you must also produce your national ID to deter those intruders who want to come from Congo and they only acquire the NRM membership card to wait for NRM primary elections. You must produce your national ID as you get registered for this party membership. Then come that day, even if we were to line, as a rule, I'm not talking on behalf of the directives that will come. We shall still make sure that people who have come to line, the eligible have our national IDs even if they say you line up, but you must have national ID.
The voter registration and update exercise will run for 5 days from 13th of March up to 17th of March across all the villages within the country. Orak Benson Pastore, Farisi Majid, West Nile Television, Nile Cast.
And more in our stories this evening, Greater Nebi Muslims have joined the rest of the world in the beginning of the holy month of Ramadan, today the 11th of March, during which Muslims will take a moment to reflect and renew their faith. Honorable Hashim Suleiman, the Member of Parliament for Nebi Municipality, urged all Muslims to find peace during this Ramadan season as Allah eases Muslims' hardship and brings peace and prosperity to all who seek Him. Alfred Jawok reports.
As many Ugandans join the rest of the world to extend their best wishes to Muslim communities on the beginning of the holy month of Ramadan, which started today. Muslim believers in Greater Nebi have been told to reflect on their faith, to forgive each other. Ramadan is the festive month during which Muslims around the globe reflect on and renew their faith. Muslims honor each day of Ramadan as a day of patience, endurance through fasting, and each night as a night of gratitude through prayers. Ramadan is also a month of giving as Muslims reach out to assist those afflicted by hunger, poverty. Hashim Suleiman, Member of Parliament, Nebi Municipality, reminded the Muslims that this is the month to repent from our wrongdoings and sins. He urges that all Muslims must find peace on this Ramadan, as he wishes happy Ramadan to every Muslim, adding that may Allah ease Muslims' hardships and shower them with the loads of peace and prosperity during this holy month of Ramadan.
In our calendar, and I pray that they should prepare themselves spiritually. And this is a month somebody really dedicates his life to God. You leave very many things, including food during daytime. You don't eat, you don't drink, you don't do anything. You're not supposed to do anything evil. You're not supposed to do anything evil at a bit, You're not supposed to. You're supposed to repent, to always be repenting to God, to really forgive you for whatever you have done for the whole year. So I encourage the Muslims to embrace the fasting month which has come, and it will take 30 days, usually 30 days. Then after the 30, sometimes it can take 29 days. It follows the moon, how it moves. Some of the months are 29 days, some of the months are 30 days. That is for Muslims. Like in February for us, we have 28, 29, but for Muslims in a year, you'll find it may go to 30 or 29, and nobody knows it. Nobody knows it, it's only God who knows it. And you come to know it when now the moon is being counted, because they have the gadgets of counting the moon. 1, 2, 3, 4, up to 29 or 30. So I pray that for these 29 days or 30 days, please, give yourself to God. Give yourself to God. You never know. You may be forgiven of whatever you did in the past. 1 year you have been in this land, on this earth, and we are all sinners. We should remind ourselves we are all sinners. When the specific time comes for you to try to repent, do it. When will you do it then?
Abdul Karim, a Muslim believer in Pakwach district, narrated how useful this period is for all Muslim communities. He added that this holy month of Ramadan should strengthen their faith.
Ramadan ke wama pire tek na rot Mungu ulonde kimbipa umati Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Memi ke iwa ibero pa kisa pare ene Mungu ni kumdano mako ube kukare na minwango bero madupa dupa ini duma ene. Oli na Ramadan ke kubero dupa. Ramadan dusu dupa dano ai time ma ber e game rusu du ke seke shenyi kai shenyi di ma ayil fitri inwango nangano yidong makumi dubu pei kumi chalo yakin mokere aya wana be kwa dani seke mutie ka wonenu ka Islam wada wan washwa kura wameku kare maber wajwa kwa mekura walifasai msaima eni kutunywa chel yen beru iye tuka ekonyu amane biu ketu adi luang kude jana paro Mungu.
However, Aisha Zubeda, a Muslim believer in Paidatan Council, Zombo district, noted that this year's Ramadan has come amidst financial challenges, but pray to Allah to grant them blessings as they start fasting today. The holy month of Ramadan starts when the moon is sighted in the Islamic calendar that ushers into Eid al-Fitr. Alfred Jawok, West Nile TV, Nile Cast.
And more in our stories, Muslims living in Arua have been called upon to ensure doing good deeds during the holy month of Ramadan. This call was made by Sheikh Abdul Jafar Shaban Karala, the Arua Muslim District Qadi. Harish Majid has more.
As Muslims across the world today commenced with the fasting period, commonly known as the Ramadan period, which is a month typical for paying obedience to Almighty Allah, Sheikh Abdul Jafar Karala, the district Qadi for Arua Muslim District, thanked Almighty Allah for having reached this period.
We thank Almighty Allah for this time, this chance, this day, this month that He has enabled us to reach. We also extend the same to His Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, his companions, and all the believers at large. I would like to also thank the Muslims for having reached this month. We say Ramadan Kareem.
Sheikh Abu Jafar went ahead to urge the Muslims to fast during this period and desist from un-Islamic practices.
My message this time is that Almighty has made you reach the holy month of Ramadan, the month Muslims fast. Please take the chance, fast. While you are fasting, make sure you abide by the rules Almighty Allah has put it on you. Don't move at night. Don't consume intoxicants. I cannot mention any, but we know there are very many here. Now people are used to.
Sheikh Abu also called upon the Muslims to share amongst themselves during this period.
I also urge Muslims to share with others in this month. If you are fasting, take care of your neighbor. For the small you have, share with those who have not. If you have some money, at least also give in charity. You can give in kind, or you can give in otherwise. I will also urge the non-Muslims to exchange the same, because giving in charity is not only a Muslim duty, it's a duty for humanity.
The Muslims across the world will fast for a period of 30 days, while exempting from drinking and eating during daytime.
And more in our stories this evening. During the official commissioning of a Valley Dam, whose construction started in 2019 in Aya Parish, Ajah Sub-County, Aurora District, the Deputy Resident District Commissioner for Aurora District, Jawoko Dennis, urged the youths to take charge of protecting a facility that is worth 350 million shillings. Take a look.
The official commissioning of the facility, which includes components of Valley Dam for catchment purposes, motorized water for domestic consumption, and a pool for animals to drink water, was officiated and attended by Aurora district officials, the locals in Yajir, among other dignitaries. And Daru Janet, a resident in the area, recounted how they suffered by walking long distances in order to find a better source of water to be fetched.
Aya kaditsa utuka sidwa dinibo yidi waru adro yi amadimu yiko dale kanisa zidale la amadimu yiko dale yimi mu yi a mi tofu ya fufu saro mi ata de kuku mi de mu yi bia mu angoni zozorsi kata ya de amadiri diti sonzi yi wa de ato abam di yidi ga sase amadi yidi sani ayikosi.
Walega Jacob, the assistant cow for Aurora district, advised the residents to take advantage of the dam to venture into farming.
The purpose of this project is to see that food production is increased in this area. I want you to make use of this project because the intention of government is to see that there is improvement in the income of our people. Now that we have this dam, I expect you people, if you had one goat, or one sheep, or one cow, to get another one. The intention of our president is that we should increase on production such that we don't depend on subsistence production.
Kato Ronald Kaizi, a commissioner in the Ministry of Water and Environment, thanked the people of the Atichi village for volunteering to give land for establishment of the project.
Our ministry's mandate is very broad, but specifically in this case, we came to address the issue of water for production, water for multi-purpose use, water for environment, water for your livestock, and water for your domestic use in a way. It is important to note that water is not everywhere. And this is one of the areas that are water stressed, and in such areas at times we even don't have land where to put a facility like this one. This area is very unique because there are areas where we go and the community wants water, but they don't want to give out land. I'm very grateful to the community that has given out land. I want you people to be very grateful to the NRM government because this is in line with the President's manifesto and the National Development Plan, which is now implemented through the parish development model.
The LC5 chairman for Arua District, Honorable Alfred Okoonje, thanked the Ministry of Water and Environment for their immense contributions in the district.
More especially, I would like to thank Commissioner for making it this far. I would like to say that as district chairman, Ministry of Water and Environment led by you is in the good books of Arua District. You are in our good books because you've never let us down. In the district, this was amongst the list of abandoned projects. The ministry asked us to compile the list of abandoned projects, amongst which was this DHT Valley tank. And I am happy to report to you today that we are going to delete that from the list of abandoned projects with immediate effect. From sub-county up to the district. It is not abandoned project, it is a life-giving project now.
The Deputy Area DC for Arua District, Mr. Jawoko Dennis, who was also guest of honor at the commissioning, asked the youth to take charge of jealously protecting the facility.
I am overjoyed by the presence of the many youth from this particular area attending this function today. I really want to thank in a very special way all the youth who came to be with us for this day. Whereas others are using youth to go on the streets to protest against this government, to cause a lot of mayhem in the community, you have chosen to come and learn how you will benefit and improve your quality of life from this function. Let us give them leadership positions in the management of this project. If we talk about vandalism, there is no old woman who will climb on top of that building to remove the solar panel. It will be the youth to do that. Therefore, let them be the first advocates to ensure that this project is jealously guarded. Not only guarded, but they use it to the maximum so that they can improve their quality of life.
Key components in the project include 20 million liters capacity valley tank, solar-powered pump, superficial floor area control house fitted with a solar panel for lighting, among others. Shuta Yusuf, Western Television, Nalkas.
And more in our stories this evening. During the belated Women's Day celebration in Moyo Sub-County, which mainly brought together key district leaders and women within the sub-county, Moyo women have been urged to send their daughters to school so as to empower them to become future leaders of the society. Okumo Dominic has more.
The celebration, which mainly brought together the women within the sub-county with some key district leaders to appreciate the role of women in promoting development in the sub-county, took place in front of the sub-county headquarters. Mrs. Drania Victoria, the parish chief Logoba Parish in Moyo sub-county, who represented the chief guest during the occasion, urged the women in the sub-county to send their daughters to school so as to empower them to become future leaders, saying when you educate a girl child, you educate a nation.
They have to go to school so that in the future they will become like us, they will become good leaders. It says that when you educate a lady, you educate a nation. So as parents, today we have to learn from this occasion that when we reach home, we have to see that our daughters at least go to school.
Honorable Aleruto Maza, the Member of Parliament for West Moyo County, said women can only be empowered if they venture into the different government programs, adding that education is very key in enabling the women to benefit from the different government programs so that the women can be at par with men.
For one, we feel that women can only come out of this basing on the theme of today's celebration by involving themselves in government programs that have been geared towards the alleviation of poverty at household levels and for socio-economic and cultural development.
Mrs. Ivulili, the chairperson Women Council Moyo Sub-County, said she wants the women in her sub-county to be role models to other women in the district, adding that the reason for them being together is to engage the women in meetings on developmental issues, but not only wait for Women's Day celebrations so as to share ideas which can empower them, saying the women in the sub-county are very strong and independent in the sense that they pay their children in school without going to borrow loans from financial institutions, but rather focus on savings, which has greatly empowered them. Mrs. Baywa Juliet Asusi, an enrolled nurse and a woman activist in the district, said there is need to promote girl child education and encourage women to undergo different skills so as to empower them to be able to make money by themselves, saying there is enough evidence in Uganda of women holding powerful political positions in the country, and encourage the women to work side by side with their men so as to accelerate development of the district and Uganda as a whole.
We have women who are already beyond that. They may not need now current education of going to class, but still we can empower them by giving them different things, training them using handcraft, taking them for training so that they can do their own things and they can be empowered to get their 1,000, at least 2,000 per day and their living. I prefer women must be empowered as the government says.
Mrs. Chandia Benedict Kodili, an opinion leader, urged the public to focus more on the family, saying the family plays a pivotal role in bringing about development because every development starts from the family.
Let us concentrate on the family. The reason I'm saying that is because everything begins from the family. Development begins from the family. When a family is peaceful, when a family is working together, when a family is in harmony, then we can see development. Because from these small family units, it becomes a community. So we need to emphasize the quality of families that we have.
The International Women's Day is a day celebrated on every 8th of March every year, but in Uganda, the national celebration was held in Katakwi district. However, the Ministry of Gender, Labour and Social Development has given a grace period of up to 1 month for the districts and sub-counties to celebrate the day on different dates of their interest. It is from this background that Moyo Sub-County celebrated the Women's Day over the weekend, with many more sub-counties yet to celebrate the day under the theme Accelerating Gender Equality Through Women Economic Empowerment. I'm Dominic Antonio Kumo for West Nile TV, Nilecast.
good evening, viewers. You are most welcome for today's edition of NILE Sports News. My name is Oraku Benson Pastore. I hope you had a wonderful weekend. A lot of stories happened in the world of sports over the weekend. We had Star Times Uganda Premier League Vipers win over Wakiso Giants. You talk about FIFA Big League. You talk about Spanish Primera Division, English Premier League, German Bundesliga. Not forgetting about Italian Serie A, and also one famous league we have in Europe is French League One, where we saw Paris Saint-Germain drawing with the team of Reims. It ended 2-2, but let's start our discussion with what is happening within the region, particularly in Arua City. As a boxer for Arua City Boxing Club, Said Razak, one of the iconic figures at the club right now, is eyeing a professional career in the world of boxing after 1.5 years with the boxing club of Arua City, and he has had so many fights for Arua City Boxing Club. His tremendous and brilliant performances has made him to attract interest from some of the top boxing clubs we have in the country, the likes of Police Boxing Club. You talk about UPDF Boxing Club, but is now eyeing a professional career in boxing. Let's get to hear from the head coach of Arua City Boxing Club and also Saidi Razak. Razak Saidi, a boxer at Arua City Boxing Club, is right now fighting to see if he can get to the climax of his boxing career. This comes after spending 1 year plus some months at Arua City Boxing Club and still yearns for more. In all the fights he had fought for Arua City Boxing Club, he has been so tremendous and still remains unbeaten in all the competitions at national level, called intermediate tournament, novice tournament plus the rest. Because of these brilliant performances, he has attracted interest from some of the top boxing clubs in the country, such as Police and UPDF. This time, Razak Saidi is targeting professional career and wants to be like Farouk Daku, Ugandan professional boxer in Netherlands who has been so inspirational in his career. Muhammad Jafar, the head coach of Arua City Boxing Club, briefly highlights about his entire boxing career as a head coach and as a boxer before, and how they identified talented Razak Saidi and nurturing him.
Boxing has started a long time ago. I started boxing in 1987 when I'm still a kid studying in Kadogo School in Barara. I trained from there. I started to play National Junior Boxing Championship. 1987 I became a champion. 1989-88 I went for National Novices. I played National Novice Championship. In finals I get a bronze silver medalist. I become a runner-up. At that time, immediately I switched off to the National Intermediate finals. I become also runner-up. Then I went to National Open in the same year. I became a champion. I became a coach because me, I came Arua here. I've been operating a lot of regions. Operating Northern region, Western region. I've been there, I trained the boxers, I make clubs. When I came here, my home place, I see there's nothing here. Nothing of boxing here. People are trained like rebels on the top of the hill. No leadership in the boxing. No what. And then I say, hey, my boys, come around. We don't need these things. Let us do this channel. That's be the procedures. How we can stage it in our region here, we make it a perfect club. For the community-based organization, we register the club officially, and we went to the federation also, we do the same things. So the Arua City Box Club become registered basically with the community, and up to now, that way you see we have made the club to be strong. Razaki, he have never taken long. With Arua City, I think it take like now 2 years with Arua City Boxing Club. Because when we began Arua City Boxing Club, we were still doing other works, like mechanic in a company. When he meet with the chairman, he bring him, say, coach, I've got a good boxer here, has good height. If you can train him, we train him just 1 year and he went to participate in start becoming titles. Our boy here, Razaki, super heavyweight, currently went for the national novices. He took the gold medalist. Right now I'm preparing him for National Open, which was going to take place this March on the 23rd. And he was ready to go and participate in. I was also going to do the best thing in this time. But we do it for the Ramadan season. And our national team of Uganda Bombers, currently now we send 2 teams outside Italy for Olympic qualifiers, and others went for the All Africans game. I think now they may push National Open up to April. and prepare him. And my aim to Razaki, I need him to become also like Faruku, those of like Ouma, those of Tyson, Mayweather. He can make it, according to his power, and his height is good, he's very strong. And also make a lot of prayer to him. I know he will be very okay.
Razaki Saidi, a boxer at the City Boxing Club, says this time he is looking forward to become an international boxer, and says he has tried enough at the local level and wants to be like Faruk Daku, one of the famous boxers the country of Uganda has ever produced.
Boxing City Boxing Club. Kampala, so Mendoza, yeah, Bala or Mabinanda Bala hectic concert. Then the Keros, Mabinanda Zala Gofa, you send the Keros, that's why some Keros, Paka Command Moga final Garbe, PDF, and PDF, Chokamas gold medal. Now, current service, yeah, Madame Muzona San Open, but Mabinanda more. Intermediate, so I was a gun skin amateur, so one or two months, so I'm ready to start my training.
Razak Saidi is a boxer currently playing for Arua City Boxing Club. Oraku Benson Pastore, West Nile Television, Nileka Sports News.
Away from that story of Saidi Razak eyeing a professional career in boxing, and at the same time stories about Arua City Boxing Club, this time we are still within the region of West Nile discussing what is happening around in the world of sports. Back to what is happening in the world of football, and it's all about how schools are preparing ahead of the inter-school ball games. Yesterday there was a friendly between Mvara Senior Secondary School and the Panyango Senior Secondary School. Mvara traveled away to Panyango and managed to beat Panyango by 2-0. Last season, I should say last year, both schools managed to play at the regional level, where we saw Mvara being knocked out in the quarterfinals. Meanwhile, for Panyango SS, they went up to the finals before losing it into the hands of Arua Senior Secondary School. Let's have the reported story.
There was joy and jubilation in Pakwach district over the weekend after Mvara Senior Secondary School managed to beat Panyango SS 2-0 in a friendly game ahead of the forthcoming post-primary school games, which will kick off next week. During the game at Panyango Secondary School playground on Saturday 9th March this year, 2 goals in the first half sealed Mvara Senior Secondary School victory over Panyango Senior Secondary School. According to Mustafa Bogre, head coach Mvara SS said his players have been preparing for the game and said he's optimistic that with the results of the game, his team will perform well in the forthcoming post-primary school game.
Mvara SS, we have been preparing for like now 3 to 4 weeks already. That's why my guys, though they are young, but they have the strength to manage it.
Meanwhile, Ramos Rotumio, head coach Panyango Senior Secondary School, conceded the defeat, saying this has taught them a lesson to have a regular trainings. He equally asked students to exhibit discipline in the game since they are in Lent and Ramadan period.
We tried. We trained for 3 days, then we play a friendly. All in all, tried overtake us.
The post-primary school games for Nebi district will begin on 19th March this year with over 12 schools, both government-aided and private schools, willing to participate in the game. Alfred Jawok, West Nile TV, Nilecast.
Yesterday evening was a moment of brilliance for the fans of Ontuparka Football Club as we saw them picking their first away win for this season FUFA Big League. Goals from Bida Ezra, Yakin's free kick stunner that went straight into the back of the net, and also one from Samson Caesar Okuti. Their player, of course, saw the team of Ondoparka beating Chetume by 3-0. The win has moved them to 23 points and in the 7th position. That one wasn't the only game played in match day 17th and 18th in Bet Power FUFA Big League. We also had other encounters where we saw Blacks Power playing a barren draw with the team of Kataka. Boma, we are able to edge out Karo Karunzi by 1-0. Mbali Heroes, we are 2-1 winners over Karo Karunzi, and Police managed to thump a team called Zinzanof United at Kavumbaru Crescent Center. The game ended by 4-1. As I had mentioned earlier on, we saw the team of Ondoparka Football Club, of course, beating out Chetume by 3-0. There was a barren draw between Calvary that comes from Yumbe playing a barren draw with the team of Young Elephant. Right now, you look at the table standing, the team which is still maintaining the log in Bet Power FUFA Big League's Police. They have around 36 points. Second on the log is Mbale Heroes with 34. Lugazi comes to third position with 31 points, and Boma at number 4 with 28. The team which is currently sitting at number 5 is Kataka, that comes from Mbale. They are having something of around 27 points. Blacks Power is at number 6 with 25 points. And as I had said earlier on, the win on the Paraka picked yesterday evening has moved them in the 7th position with 23 points, and Calvary is also at number 8 with 23 points. Let's finalize everything with what is happening in all Africa games that is going in Ghana, whereby I can confirm to you we are just some few minutes away for the kickoff of the game between Hippos and Senegal. I mean under 20, Uganda under 20 taking on under 20 of Senegal. In the first game, you remember Uganda has been put alongside countries like Senegal, South Africa, our neighbors here. Tunisia, of course, withdrew, not forgetting about Nigeria. The first game they played, they managed to beat Nigeria by 2-1. A win for them against the team of Senegal will see them advancing to the semi-finals. Remember, this is a team Uganda once beat last year, but it was in a different tournament called the Africa Under-20 African Cup of Nations, where we saw Uganda beating Senegal in the group stages. With that, we have come to the end of today's edition of NILE Sports News. It has been me, Benson Pastore, in front of the camera. Let's link up again tomorrow for the same segment of NILE Sports.
And that we are